I'm Diana. I'm testing out popular recipes from the New York Times Cooking and other different publications to see what's worth cooking and what isn't. Today, I'm making Katharine Hepburn's famous brownies. I have been dying to try this recipe. It's rated 5 stars on New York Times Cooking and it has over 12,000 reviews. Let's see what this recipe is all about. I'm definitely a chocolate fan and these look insane. So let's try to make them. Okay, so first we're gonna preheat our oven to 325 and we're going to melt our butter in a saucepan. I will make a couple modifications. One being that I want these to have brown butter in them, just because I think that takes the brownie to the next level. So we'll do that and then we'll stir in the cocoa. Okay, the only other problem is that I only have a 9-inch cake pan and the recipe calls for an 8-inch cake pan. We're going to modify the recipe to make sure that they're not thin because I don't like thin brownies. We're increasing the batter by about like 25% or so. So we're gonna brown our butter first and we're going to do 10 tablespoons of butter. The original recipe calls for half a cup, so we're just gonna add 2 more tablespoons. Once the butter starts turning this nice amber color, that's when you know that it's nice and browned. Okay, we're gonna pour the chocolate into a glass bowl. We're gonna add our vanilla in here. It's been sitting and cooling for just a few minutes. It's still pretty warm. We're gonna do a splash of vanilla. We're gonna have to wait because this is way too hot and I don't want those eggs to start scrambling. We'll put this aside. We're gonna get our flour mixture ready. Since I'm using a bigger pan, I'm going to do 5 tablespoons of flour. 3, 4. I hope that when I rewatch this video to edit it, I didn't miscount that. 5. We're gonna do 200 grams of sugar, which is 1 cup. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We'll do a little more than 1 cup of pecans. You can use walnuts or pecans. I'm using pecans. Back to our chocolate. I was worried there for a second. I thought that my eggs started to scramble, but it's smooth. We're fine. Now we're gonna add our dry in here. Stir it until it's combined. I do know that this recipe is supposed to be a little bit like sticky. Spread that out. This is like the perfect amount for this pan, so the measurements were definitely perfect. We're going into the oven. These brownies look perfect. I just like fell apart. Cheers. 9 out of 10. I would make these again. They're more fudgy than anything. Great flavor. 9 out of 10.